Right, I'm down on the coast today with the Asta Gear Crescent 1. The reason that I've got that tent with me today is I've been doing a few modifications on it. There's serious waves coming in. Yeah, I've done a few modifications on it and I'm giving them a little try out. I was going to walk you around and show you the tent, but I'm going to leave that to tomorrow, hopefully when the wind disappears. Well, it's not to disappear, but it is to ease off a bit later on, and I'll go around and video the little bits that I'm talking about. So the modifications that I've done to it, I've changed the feet on it, so I now have the ability to double pole the tent, and that's the way it is at the moment. It's double poled. I've changed 2 loops that were at the front door from they were just guy line loops, and they're now got little cinching clips on it. Now the reason for that is twofold. It will stop any zip creep, because it is double zips that's on there, so it'll stop any zip creep. And also I've put a tiny little modification which was really simple, where I've added some elastics in a toggle so you can roll up the ends of the tent as well as the front, so you can open up either end or the front panel if required. The reasoning behind that is that it gives you a far bigger porch to put your stuff in, a lot longer, and you can access in and out quite easily. I've been in and out there a couple of times already on the setup. So the weather forecast for the next sort of 24 hours is the winds are 18 to 23 miles an hour, with gusts up to 35 to 40 miles an hour. So that's the reason I'm down today. The rain, it's to be sporadic but heavy. I've already been caught in it on the way down. It was absolutely torrential. The ground, because it's been dry for months and months now, it's got like a fine powder underneath the grass, which now it's wet, it's just clay. It's literally walking when you go down here with cement stuck to the soles of your feet. But anyway, it'll be a good test for the tent today. I'm expecting it to be absolutely fine. I've double pegged the opposite side of the tent, which is facing into the wind. Now this wind's to come this way up to about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then it's to shift slightly where it'll come more that way. So I've double pegged those sides all the way around. That's what you would do in these sort of conditions. Yeah, so it should be, all in all, quite an enjoyable night. Right, so what I've done there, I've just dropped the centre bit, so that would, in fact, on the original tent be the door. That would be your access in and out. So all that does there, with both sides open, especially on a day like this, as I've got it reversed round, the wind can blow through and it actually keeps the tent quite cool. It was getting rather warm there. Right, so the reason that I've been able to do that, so the problem that I had when I first thought about it is this guy line here was actually just a loop. It didn't have the cinching buckle on it there, so I've added the buckle on here and on there, so that allows you to actually keep a bit of tension in this part of the tent. So if you wanted to close it all down, it's quite simple. And all you do is just take this one on and hook it onto the peg. And that's you all done, all sealed in that side, which gives you quite a large size porch now by doing that, and you get in and out there quite easy. I'm 6 foot and I can get in and out, not a problem. So that's all that was just added a little elastic and a toggle. No great shakes here. Quite a simple little modification. No sewing involved. You have the loop and toggle at this side here, and all you do is just tie it round, well, tie it round there, but put it through it, and that's it done. The only stitching you would need to do is putting these toggles on here. As I said, it comes with that on there, but you have to undo it to put the buckle in, so you can cinch it down. Right, try and show you the rest of it. So if you look here, you can see it's double poled. So a double poled, that's the two darker coloured poles are, let me think, are they the ones that come with? No, yeah, the darker coloured poles are from the what do you call it, the Stars 2 tent that I reviewed a week or so back. So they're the same length as these poles, so it's just running two sets of them. Sleeves can accommodate it quite easily. The buckle accommodates it quite easily. I think I'm going to have to redo this strap. I don't think I've done it right. I think that needs to go through the strap and then out. And how I managed to get the feet in is here, if you can see it. So I changed the single feet catch on there to a double. Now you can pick these double ones up from let me think 3FUL's website. They do take a while to get here. As you can see there, a bit of branding, TFS's pole. Yeah, they do take a wee while to get here. Took a couple of weeks, but quite easy to swap over. There's no stitching involved. They've got a little notch inside, you can just put them through the same loop. It's absolutely fine. So the last little modification I did, you can see where the lamp's hanging there. The lamp point for this tent is up at the door, so it's on this bit here. It just blocks the light out. So all I did was just add another little loop, and my lamp's hanging up there. So other mods I'm going to look at, I'm going to put a zip across here so you can open up the whole door. I'm not a great fan of traipsing in and out on top of your door. Luckily it's a dark colour. The white ones, like the ones that you get in the tie hang, it would just get really, really muddy. So I've ordered a zip that will run across here, a two-way zip, not a two-way zip, yeah, a two-way zip that I'll put in, so you can take the door, and then I'll put a little pocket on this side that you can stuff it into. There's a yellow rain warning coming. As you can see there, that's seam sealed on here, but not on there. So if it was driving rain, there's a good chance it'll come through. But if I check that tonight, at 2 o'clock it's due, heavy rain. If that doesn't leak, then I'll leave it as is, but if it does, I will change these zips over to waterproof zips. But the tent is really sturdy with the double poles in it, and I mean really, really sturdy. I am so surprised. That's so much movement. You might actually be too sturdy. That's my only worry. It is absolutely solid. Actually surprised me how stiff this made it. Yeah, what I've done here, you can see I've double pegged all this side, because that's what we'd normally do where the wind's coming in. Double pegged here, and then double pegged in there as well. Yeah, the weather's starting to change now. Just check the forecast. The 2 in the morning's definitely on, and that's when the yellow warning really kicks in. 8 o'clock tonight, and the weather starts to change. I can see already there's a lot more movement in the tent coming in at the moment, but I will be fine, absolutely fine. Right, offerings for tonight. I think tonight is going to be out there. It's another pre-cooked meal again. Saying it's pre-cooked. It's the ones that I knock up myself. So tonight it's going to be this instant mash, gravy, and one of these. Oh, I don't know what one it is. Oh, I'm confused now. Oh, what one is what? I don't want to open up. Alright, that's breakfast. Yeah, this is that's got peas in it. That's mince and peas and potatoes for tonight. Tomorrow morning it's going to be a wee bit different this time. It's beans, egg and bacon in this one. So that's for breakfast. That out the way. And the weather, the forecast for the weather is right up to 12 o'clock, so I've got a little snack pot, mug shop. Got some bread for the mince and tatties. And a couple of wee bars of chocolate. So it's got to be for like 24 hours because yeah, it will be 24 hours. Yeah, the weather is down to go away at about 12 o'clock tomorrow, the yellow weather warning at least. I don't want to try and pack this tent away wet, that's because it will be by what's been said in the forecast. Right, I'll get this on and I'll check in later on. Well, that's the first wee bit of rain just blasted through there. It's funny, the wind really does pick up and then it just comes in. There's to be hailstones as well, apparently. I'm just hoping the ground can soak it up, because there's always a thing when you're on clay that it'll wash the top layer off and just come down, and I'm on a bit of slope and a wee bit of hill there, so I'm hoping it's not going to come through. I've got the pack is inside its rain cover, sitting up almost, just in case. Sandy's off today, and I did say her, do you fancy coming down for a wee overnight camp? And her answer to me was, if you're double poling your tent, no, I don't. So she was well aware what I was up to. But there you go. It's not everybody's cup of tea coming down here and sitting in rough weather. Yeah, you probably seen with the thumbnail. This says, I mean, coming down into yellow weather warning. I'm quite confident. I know how to get out of here in the dark. Got comms and stuff like that, and Sandy's on call if need be to come and pick me up. I'm not in any danger. I've got a bivvy bag in the bottom of my bag there. If I have to go out and this collapse and there's a massive ditch behind there, I can go in out the way if required, if it gets really bad and the tent fails. So I'm covered that way. But the other one was there was a boat was washed up in the next Cove Inn In the last video I shot, I kept looking down. I was watching the guys clearing all the parts. I thought they were collecting rubbish. They weren't. They were clearing parts of this boat. It was about an 18 footer boat, but it had been smashed into the rocks, and it was actually sitting up in the rocks. As I was leaving, I stopped to speak to the guys who were clearing it up, and they told me it was not a yacht that broke free for its moorings. It was stolen. It had been brought across here, and it had smuggled in stuff or people onto the coast, which is, yeah, it was quite worrying. I spoke to the owner, so the owner, I know the owner of this part of the coast. I've got his details and stuff, like his contact number. If I see him down here, I have to give him a bell, because it's not the first time that this has happened. When it's like this out here, don't worry about it. Nobody's coming up there. But the old calm moon, full moon nights, apparently, it's a thing on the west coast of England where boats go out, meet bigger boats, and bring whatever in. I think that's the ins and out of it. And it's just funny that every time I've been down here the last few weeks, there's always been like the harbour patrol boat has been sitting right out there. I thought it was just catching people speeding out and in of the cove back there, but it's not. That's what they've been watching out for. The weird thing is, at the top of the hill there, the other side of the hill, you have got a manned Coast Guard station. 24/7, that place is manned. But there you go. That's what's happened. So it's not overly concerned with it, but it's just, you know, sort of puts a little edge on being down here. This is my happy space. I love coming down here. I do love this part of the Dorset, and I've been coming down here for years now. It just put a bit of a concern. Let's call it a concern. I'm not that concerned about it, to be honest. I'm not. Oh my God, I'm not going to come back down here again. It's just something to bear in mind when I'm camping here and there's people moving up and down and things going on. I just need to be probably a wee bit more vigilant, as they say. Right, I think it's time to settle in for tonight. As I said, at 2 o'clock in the morning is when the storm proper is supposed to hit. And what I'll do is I'm going to set my alarm about 1:30, and I'll bring you back then. Yeah, not a bad wee sleep in the Crescent one last night. The initial storm, sort of the bad weather, came in at 2 o'clock, as it was said in the weather forecast, so it was quite good for a change. Gave us a wee bit of a test. I don't know what speed the actual winds were, but it was between 20 and 30 mile an hour, I would think. But it didn't budge. Checked all the pegs this morning. I think one of them had sort of moved closer to the tent. Had been tugged a little bit, but other than that, the tent was pretty solid in that setup, I would say. Yeah, it's amazing down here in the morning. Sun's trying to break through, but the forecast is that the weather is to close in a little bit, but we'll wait and see. Right, so that was the first little test of the Asta Gear Crescent 1. Just looking at it here, I would show you with the camera, but my camera's now broken. Something's happened. All the buttons for the functions in the back are doing random things, and I'm not going to play about it because it did go to format card at one point, which would have been very disappointing. I think there's a bit of grip that got behind the wheel, and when you press it, it's just sending it different ways. But from here, I can see there's like debris and dirt all underneath the tent for where the water's been hitting here and running down. It's been really, really bad. Sandy just phoned us. She said the flooding down in Poole has been ridiculous. A lot of the main shops are actually shut. They got flooded. Never seen it as bad as that. She just went up the high street and she says she's just got debris running down the high street all the way down the pedestrian precinct. So yeah, I could hear it last night. I could hear it hitting off the tent, but there was no ingress of water in that, and the wind certainly didn't affect it. It's a really, really sturdy like this, and I mean I could put that backpack up there, not a problem. It wouldn't have an issue at all. It'd take a bit of weight. Yeah, so it performed really well. I mean, how well did it perform? About an hour into the storms, I fell asleep and never woke up again. I just got a couple of clips of the wind blowing in the background. But yeah, it hasn't moved. Checked all the guy lines, only one peg has sort of moved forward slightly. So pretty sturdy. Didn't need to tighten up any of the guy lines going round it either. I think one of my only concerns would be it's only limited to 4 guy lines. I might actually put other ones on it at the ends there, but that's something that I'll look at in the future before winter truly gets a hold of us. But for me, it's quite a sturdy tent. Right, I'm going to get the tent packed up and get out of here. If you get any questions about the modifications I've done on the Crescent 1, just stick it in the comments below. If you get any suggestions that you can see that I could do, again, stick it in the comments below. It'll be most helpful. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks to everyone who's helping support the channel and enabling it to grow. And I'll see you all again in the next video. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.